Hi guys, just wanted to show you guys a little bit on how I do my 45-70 bullets. Right now I'm loading some, see if you guys that'll focus in there. There we go, some 405 grain. These are pure lead out of a Lee, the 405 hollow base mold. It's the only nose pour mold that Lee makes as far as I'm aware of. And they seem to be working really good. They load really well. Setup I've got is I'm actually using my Lee turret press. This is the cheaper turret press that has the cast aluminum bottom. To load 45-70, you do have to take out the auto index rod and manually index, but I mean there's no really reason to load 45-70 with an auto index anyway. You know, you aren't going for speed with a 45-70 unless you have a Gatling gun, which in case you probably have a nicer press anyway. But to start out with, I want to show you guys this. This is the older style Lee sizing die. It actually says Lee nowhere on it whatsoever, it's just stamped. And again, see if this will focus in so you guys can read this. It says 457 right there. That's the 457 diameter bullet, which I actually have made this one bigger. It now sizes at about 0.48 or 458, 48. Probably somewhere closer to 458.5, something like that. Just depends on what kind of alloy you're using, and that just matches the bore diameter to my 45-70 a little bit closer. Notice there's no threads on this. This is a handheld unit. You hold it in your hand, place the bullet in, place the plunger on, and you actually hammer the bullet through, and it comes out the bottom. You know, I picked it up for $8. I just didn't feel like spending the extra money for the one that screws in your press, and this is just kind of a more hands-on experience, I guess is what you could call it. And it actually does really good. That way you guys can see that. You know, it sizes it just fine. And there's, with me, with a big gun like this, you know, whether you're shooting the big 500 grains, the 405 grains, this is a large gun, and you need to be as hands-on as possible. You know, if you're doing black powder, you aren't going to get a double charge. You only have to worry about with black powder is, you know, getting an air pocket, something like that. I shoot all smokeless, and in every smokeless load I shoot, it's very easy to get a double charge, especially with the unique powder. I'm using the classic load of 15-405, and what that means is 15 grains of unique underneath a 405 grain bullet. Now that is a published load. That is not the maximum load, but as always, you know, do your research. Consult a reloading manual before you go buy any loads that you see on the internet. Like I said, this is for my Buffalo Classic. They're rated up to about 40,000. I believe that's CUP of pressure. I'm not sure. I don't believe it's PSI. They rate those differently. And so most people say they're about as strong as a Ruger #1 rifle. Your shoulder is going to give out before you get anywhere near those type of pressures. I shoot the Remington 405 grain soft points, and for one, you don't need anything more than that to kill anything in North America, probably anything on Earth. And two, I mean, it's just punishing the gun and punishing your shoulder, and there's no real use for it. I mean, unless you're in bear country, knowing you're going to go up against a grizzly, something like that. But enough rambling. Let me walk you guys through how I do this. I actually lube my bullets a lot differently than anybody else I've seen, really. This is just a block of my homemade lube. At this point, I don't even know what percentages of what is actually in here. But and here is the bullet. You can see no lube in it. Pan lubing's nice, it takes too long, but what I like to do is just scratch the bullet on the edge of this block to fill up the lube grooves. And like I said, guys, this isn't for speed, this is for hands-on. As you can see, it fills right up. And before you take your plunger out, I hope you guys can see this. I'm doing this backwards in the camera, and it's the sunlight keeps coming in and out of the window. But you get it started, it should push all the way down. Then you give it a little squeeze, it'll start a little bit more. And when you use these type, it's best to use a dead blow hammer. This one's rubber on one side, and I believe this is nylon on the other. I was using a steel ball peen hammer, and as you can see, it kind of damaged my little plunger there. But what you do is you just want to get this started, and pretty much just use the weight of the hammer. You hear it snap all the way down, and when it comes out, you've got a, let this thing focus here, perfectly sized bullet. Then this is gonna make you guys that shoot 45-7 jealous here. This one's once fired, but I actually have 100 more brand new Starline cases down here, already primed. And what I do here, like I said, I've got my turret press, I've got my sizing die, my expander die, and my bullet seeder die. The sizing die I have set where it just sizes about the first ½ inch of the case. Actually, see if I can zoom in here and give you guys a better view of this. And I don't even lube the case, it just lubes, or excuse me, it just sizes about the first half, maybe 3/4 of an inch. That's just for neck tension. I'll show you guys if you don't do that, what you actually get. The camera focus here. What you actually get is the bullet will spin in the case, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's still being held in place with the crimp, but you get a little wiggle room there. And I apologize, I hope you guys can see that. So I just do this to give a little bit of neck tension. You go down, like I said, just barely sizes. It's actually not even far enough to pop the primer back out. And you index to your expanding die. You want to expand just enough where the bullet just barely fits in there. You expand over to your bullet seeder die, and you just want to make sure your bullet just barely seats down in there flat, and it's not going to scrape off any of the excess lead. I already have a charge of unique thrown here. A couple of taps, and just here if you guys can see this, with this Hornady bullet seeder die, it has this little thing that drops down. Works fine in my single stage press. On this press, I actually have to index it, stick the bullet halfway in there, and then kind of index the turret as I put the bullet all the way in the seating die, or the shell holder, and which I don't mind doing it. But you know, if that's a turn off for you, don't buy Hornady dies if you have this set, because you will have run into problems. And then I just seat, and I have a habit of twisting the bullet halfway around and then crimping again. And what that gives you is just a good uniformed crimp. And there we go. Now only about 75 more to go. Zoom back out here. But that's it, guys. That's my setup. You know, it's not perfect. It's not the fastest. Hopefully not the slowest. But it gets the job done. Like I said, I mean, 45-70 is a big bullet. You know, unless you own a Gatling gun, there's no real need to be throwing out 200-300 of them an hour. But hope you guys kind of got an insight on what I do to load 45-70. You know, like I said, even on this press here that's made for pistol cartridges, it can be done, and it can be done consistently as well. You know, you don't have to buy the $150 turret press to to get good consistent ammo. But thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, ask any questions you have, and I'll try to keep the videos coming.